Hello viewers, it's your girl Ruby Fangirl. And guess what? We made it to 100 videos. Yep, this is the 100th video, and oh my god, I have done a lot of videos over the past couple of years. Well, I started off, quite literally with a few videos, because there was a reason for that, but I'm not gonna go into that. And, well, I finally made it to this point. But I know that when it comes to next year, things will definitely be a little bit different. But I'll talk about that once we get closer to the end of the year, and then I'll get to that at that point. But for now, let's get into the video because you saw that title, and oh boy, this will be a pain in the butt for me. There's a reason for that, but first, let's get into what I'm gonna talk about. Disventure Camp Season 3. For those who don't know, I have talked about this season a few times on this channel, and oh my god, this is the worst season I had to go through. I actually binge watched that entire season, and it was a pain. A solid pain. And guess what? Everyone agreed. This season was not really the best, and it's definitely not right up there with the canon version of season 1. Well, there is a season 2, but it's not gonna come out until later on. And I just watched season 4 of Disventure Camp. Is it better? Despite its problems, it's a miles way better compared to season 3. And there is one episode out of season 3 that is easily the worst. And this specific episode is called Episode 14, TikTok on the Clock. I can't believe I just said that. Yep, just by the title alone. This is a TikTok episode. Don't get me wrong, there is nothing against TikTok. I know there are some people that do like TikTok. If you like TikTok, that's fine, but I am not a fan of this. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm sorry. This episode made me cringe to my soul. And there's two reasons for that. We'll get into that in a sec, because this episode was so hated that some Patreons left this community because of this. And I'm going to explain why that is, because I heard about people disliking this. It doesn't have to be the Patreons, even the viewers. Oh my god. If the viewers agree, and people who watch this episode agree, listen to them, please. So, there is, like I said, two main reasons. And guess what? Even other people agree that these two reasons are the main reasons. So I'm gonna go through the first one and then the second one. This one made me piss off this episode so goddamn hardly. Not even the TikToks could have saved it. And that leads us to the first point. We'll get to the second one later, because I'm gonna go on a full-on rant on that. So the first reason is the challenge itself, and it's a bunch of TikToks. Well, I mean, granted, not all the TikToks are bad, it's just, I'm like, oh my god, this is just so much cringe. Well, it starts off, innocently enough, by literally, the contestants jumping off a cliff and doing the floss. My god, that was so 2018, but you know what I mean. They do the floss, and then they TikTok right next to a bear. Yeah, kids, don't do this in real life. This is dangerous. And then they do another one where they just do, random TikToks. But then, the last one they do... This one made me cringe so goddamn hardly. Even the other people were cringing in the episode. Oh my god. I'm just gonna show, you know what? I'm gonna make you watch this scene and tell me that you were also cringing your goddamn minds. Cause
Mini skirt on, take my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture.
Enjoy it? There's your answer. I don't want to say it because of YouTube reasons, but I showed it, okay? And while like all these challenges are happening, there's a lot of people that are arguing. Most specifically, Jack and Allie. Oh my god. I can't tell you how much I hate these two characters, okay? And it does make me wonder, how is Allie gonna be in season 5? I hate her so goddamn badly. I'm sorry, why is that? But we're not gonna get into that, because there's another reason. But give me a sec. And because they kept on arguing, not just in this episode, but episodes later until they finally put aside their differences. But it's just, oh my god. So, that's one of the reasons why, because look, if the characters also cringed on this episode, so will you. But there is the second reason why this goddamn episode is easily the worst. Gabby's elimination. What did they do with her? Oh my god. They seriously wanted to get rid of her in this episode. You wanna know why? Because when Crystal was announcing, like, the elimination, apparently the producers thought it was, like, overdue with the same old elimination. Really? You're telling me for the last 13 episodes, taking the names out of the booth was boring enough and now it's this point because they wanted to make this unique as possible? Keep this uniqueness in mind, by the way. And so, how does the person get eliminated? Whoever shows, like, the TikTok will remain in the game, basically by judging. But in this case, this is the complete opposite. Because during, like, this whole entire episode, Gabby's with Gret, and these two are definitely, like, you know, doing the TikTok and stuff. But there is one thing that's keeping her back, and that is, of course, evil Gabby. Basically, her evil person, like, persona, basically. Because if you guys don't know, or for those who don't know, she has, like, either schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. We don't really 100% know, but it's one of them. And throughout, like, the episode, like, I'm just gonna refer to her as Evil Gabby because it just makes a lot more sense because it's basically the more evil and confident version of the Gabby that we know and love. And she's basically saying, you should delete that TikTok. And later on, when she's, like, they're on, like, the boat after doing, like, whatever they were doing, but thankfully you don't really see that. Let's just say that Gabby and Gret were spared by that. I'm just going to tell you right here and now. And the evil Gabbies keep on telling her, throw the phone out into the water. And of course, good Gabby refuses, and, well, Gret is just completely oblivious about what's just going on. The reason for that is because Gabby didn't tell her about this, even though later on she told Tess about this in episode 9. So this is quite confusing why, but whatever, it's episode convenience, let's just say that. And this happens twice. A shark appears out of nowhere to flip them all, both of them over. Well, the first time, Gret and Gabby, but Gabby manages to save the phone. And evil Gabby tells her, you should definitely throw the phone in the water. And of course, Gabby, still being the greatest person ever, stands up to her, basically herself. And how does this retaliation? Another shark appears out of nowhere, and Gabby flings over and accidentally throws the phone. Oh my god. Like, if that's just like episode convenience or anything like that, oh my god. And then they have no other option but to head back, make it to last place, and there's the last phone. Like one of the phones that Gret had. And guess what? Because at first we thought that Gret's gonna go home because throughout like this entire time, we assumed that Gabby had Gret's phone, which would make sense because they're supposed to have their individual phones. Because basically Gret was supposed to have Gabby's phone while Gabby had Gret's phone. But in reality, that was not the case. Because it turns out Gabby, the entire time, had her own phone, and Gret had her phone the entire time. So Gret is able to stay while Gabby gets herself eliminated.
What?
That does not make any sense whatsoever, because how did she get her own phone? Why was she carrying her own phone this entire time? Because throughout this entire episode, she has been recording with the same phone. Look, okay, granted, all the phones were the same, but you're supposed to carry the individual's phone, so how did Gabby get her own phone? What the hell happened? Oh my god, this really pisses me off. And why, out of all the people, you chose to eliminate Gabby, the freaking queen of Disventure Camp? Because, like, listen to this. You had all the other people to vote out, except for Gret. I do understand why they want to keep her there, but like I said, you had all the other people. I would have been totally fine with that, especially Rhea. I would have been happy if she left, but instead you chose the freaking queen? Oh my god. Oh my god. And guess what? In the same episode, she had potential, because later on, like in episode 11, Ellie was giving her like advice, because they came back to do a little challenge if one member can actually make a comeback, basically, or basically return. And Ellie was trying to give her like advice, basically, you have to turn on them before they turn on you. Which isn't good advice whatsoever, because most of the villains aren't great people, except for Gret, because despite her doing evil things, she was trying to be a great person, or a decent person, so. And in episode 14, she remembered what Ellie said, and they gave her potential if she kept on going. But no, we gotta eliminate her, because you know why? There is a phrase, and I quote, this is not me saying, I'm gonna repeat it. It's called the lesbian 8th place curse. I am not joking. People are saying that. Why, you ask? Because throughout season 1 through and the bait version of season 2 and even season 4, if you're in 8th place and a lesbian, you're eliminated. I am not joking. Go back and watch the episodes. And remember what I said about the uniqueness of this whole entire elimination? Go back to season 1, episode 8. That episode also had a unique elimination. And guess what? It was the episode that Gabby was eliminated. Do you see a pattern here? Because if this is a unique case, especially if Gabby's in there, you know that she's going to be eliminated in that episode. Oh my god, I should have seen it sooner, but no one did until she got eliminated. Oh my god. Seriously, the 8th place curse is real. It is freaking real. Trust me, if you watch season 4, it's still there. Oh my god. I feel bad for poor Gabby, in the bait version. I don't know in the remake if they're gonna eliminate her in the same place. I don't know. And Marissa, who is the recent one. I just watched it, but at least it actually feels a little bit more earned compared, to what they did to Gabby, because at least it wasn't some bullcrap way. And when it comes to, Gabby's eliminations, I much prefer, season 1's. Yes, it was unique, and actually extremely sad for her to go because, well, let's just say that Alec, Fiore, and Gret at the time were not great people, and they just wanted her out of there, basically. I'm not gonna spoil why that is, I'm just gonna point it out there. But at least in season 1, it was earned, because Gabby, was with her girlfriend at the time, and they had a sweet moment, and yes, it was still sad for her to go, but at least there was a good moment there that actually make you feel accepted of this, and not make you feel mad most of the time. But this, seriously, this is just awful, extremely awful. And hopefully in season 5, when we do get there, please, if she's going to be eliminated, don't put her in 8th place, because the curse must be lifted. And Give her some potential, please, because I'm going to be rooting for her just like everyone else. And whatever you do, and I'm saying this politely, don't freaking piss off the entire viewers. That's what I'm gonna say. And that's clearly the episode, but was there some kind of positive thing that was in this episode? Well, there was one thing. It's actually by like the very end of the episode, is when Gabby and Gret had that heart-to-heart, basically saying goodbye to one another. And this is where Gret says that Ellie is extremely lucky to have you, and she says to Gabby that you are the amazing person. And Gabby was completely like surprised by that, because keep in mind, this was like the same person in season 1 that treated her horribly, and now Gret is just giving Gabby like the kindness that she never had in season 1. So basically, Gabby was the one that helped get Gret out of the relationship in Yule. And guess what? If you guys want me to do the best episode of season 3, please like and subscribe. That would definitely be helpful. And oh my god, it was so emotional, and I loved it so much. Oh man, that was probably, it just melted my heartstrings. Like very similar like to like some of the Gabby and Ellie like moments. Like seriously, the fuzzy feelings were there. But that was sadly the only like positive thing in this weak ass episode. And that's pretty much it. So I hope this episode is a reminder that just don't watch this episode. If you want to see like in person like how like this episode really is cringe as ever, go ahead, be my guest. And hopefully in season 5, we'll fix the mistakes that season 3 had. Very similar to what season 4 did. The reason why I'm saying season 5 is mainly because they're bringing back some familiar faces and new faces. So this is basically like season 3, but instead of 2 generations, it is 3 and basically fans. So hopefully they make, or basically fix the mistakes. So yeah, in conclusion, Gabby deserves better, a lot more better. So season 5, please give her the potential, please. With that out of the way, I would like to know from you guys, have you seen this episode? Did this convince you not to watch it? I hope it did. So if you want to know, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you want to and basically want more, or just tell me about like this weak episode. And now, I will see you guys in the next video.